He's at Unity Technologies. He solves engineering puzzle challenges for major customers. While in his free time, he travels around Europe and talks about various technical aspects of Unity at conferences. Before joining Unity, he worked at Interactive Labs, where he focused on the creation of interactive installation for exhibitions and other events. At Mail.ru and his divisions, he worked on social games. He also translated to Russian a book on shading in Unity and supports open source projects. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Valentin Simonov, welcome to the stage.
Well, thanks guys for joining me. I guess it will be fun. So not many of you are here today, so I guess if you have like any questions for like any slide, just raise your hand. We'll do it like this. So as I was introduced, I work in Unity and my title is field engineer. And today I'm going to tell you a few words on like what's happening in Unity for like, graphics and VR. So basically more than a year ago we released Unity 5 and it was like a great step forward. And then we kind of set us 3 goals. So first one is democratization of game development, solving hard problems so you wouldn't code all this middleware stuff yourself, but concentrate it on actual game development. And the third is enabling success so you people could earn some money with your games. So I will be focusing on the second one, and if you somehow missed the presentation yesterday given by my colleague Slava from Unity Ads, you can talk to him like how to earn money on your games, and he will probably be at our booth at the expo area, so if you want. So one slide about democratization, and like a few months ago we counted how many people actually use Unity monthly, like developers, and we counted more than 1 million people using Unity, which is kind of a lot. And this is mostly due like that Unity is free with personal edition, and basically everyone now can download the engine and create anything you want. So also we have a lot of platforms. I even can't count how many of them are there right now, and we're constantly adding new ones. So this is like one of the hardest problems, probably because like in Unity you pretty much switch platform and publish to like another device. Of course you need to like fix stuff here and there, but basically it's much easier than it used to be. So since the release of Unity 5 last year, like we worked hard to release like 5.1, 5.2, 5.3, and 5.4 open beta is right now, and I really encourage you to go and download it because it contains all the new cool stuff, some of which I'm going to talk about. And we kind of need you guys to like try to upgrade your projects and test what works and what doesn't, because we really want to release it like in June, and to make it like the high quality possible. So one of the hardest problems in game development is of course graphics. So you probably remember this one. This is the project from Unity 5 demo, and we released it with Unity 5, and our demo team upgraded it with like new stuff and new effects for Unity 5.4. And here's like a small comparison video. This is old project on the left, and how it looks on the right. Like you see, it's adding new things, new image effects. I'm going to talk about. So I think the full video is available on YouTube. I'm not sure about the project, but we are definitely going to share at some point. yeah, those familiar with the old one can see like the differences. So, talking about graphics quality, it's hard not to mention Blacksmith movie. You probably all know that and have seen it. This movie made in Unity, rendered completely in real time, was created by a team of 3 people with a few developers helping here and there, but basically a really small team created a short movie rendered in real time. And if you guys haven't seen it, I'm not going to show it right now, but if you haven't seen it, I really recommend you to go to YouTube and look for it, because it's really great. And like some of the assets from this project we actually open sourced, and it's so like some bits are available on Asset Store. Like we have environments, characters, and I think some effects and hair effects or something like this. And this project really shows what was possible with Unity 5 and a team of talented developers. But lately we released another video. Our demo team created another project, which is like a totally new level, also rendered in real time. In 5.4 uses a few new image effects and stuff. And I'm going to show you like right now, but can we dim this light a bit for like a few seconds, if it's possible? No? Okay. Well, yeah, the movie is a bit dark, but I hope you will see what's going on. So once again, it's rendered completely in real time. Of course, not on this machine because it's like a bit low-end device, but on a high-quality PC, it looks really great. So, of course, it's hard to see what really is going on here because all the lighting quality and stuff. But I really recommend you to go to YouTube after this presentation if you haven't seen this movie before and look at it in the whole 60 FPS glory. So, for those of you who are going to Unite Europe in like 2 weeks, we are going to present the next part of this movie. And there will be, I think, at least one talk about how this movie was done. And for those interested in the actual project, we will have a few powerful PCs at demo area, and so you could play with it and see how it's done before we release the actual project to the asset store. By the way, any of you are going to Unite Europe this year? Like one person? Well, I really recommend you to go to, this is like our main conference, where you can learn a lot of stuff and talk to developers. Well, so in this particular demo, we used our new cinematic image effects. So image effects are very important for your games, and basically image effects are what can make poor content good, look good, and good content look excellent. So it's really hard not to state the importance of image effects. So we understand this in Unity, and a really big team is working on image effects right now. So we decided to release them earlier and uploaded them to Bitbucket and to Asset Store. So if you want to test them, you can go to this link and play with the different effect settings. All the effects are optimized not only for high quality PC machines, but also they have settings for low-level mobile devices. So some of them should work fine with low-level mobile devices. So some of these effects are much better performing screen space ambient occlusion, and you can see like no SSO on the left and the effect on the right. It's of course a bit dark, but everything looks much better. And one of the really great effects is temporal anti-aliasing. Do you have a question? Yeah, okay.
Effects work on WebGL?
Well, effects work everywhere, but WebGL might have some quality issues because well, right now I think it's kind of fixed, but before that, WebGL platform worked like OpenGL 2. So, but with appropriate settings, all the effects should work on all platforms. Well, of course, WebGL runs on PCs, so it's much better than mobiles. Yeah. So temporal anti-aliasing. Yeah, you probably see even here that like a picture on the top has some really huge aliasing, like lines going horizontal. And like when the camera is moving, you don't see these lines with temporal anti-aliasing, and it works really good. So one more cool thing is this is, by the way, like a short from short screen capture from the editor running actual Adam project, and you can see that at the left we have like scene view and the right game view, and with Unity 5.4 you can have all the effects applied to scene view, so you're not restricted to one camera angle with like game view, and you can like move around your scene and see like all the effects on the camera applied to the scene view, which is really cool. So yeah, and if you want to test the image effects, go to Asset Store or Bitbucket, and don't forget to post your feedback, but be advised that they're in kind of a preview state, so something might work, something might not. So another interesting topic and hard problem is baking light maps. So almost every game uses light maps, and right now we use Enlighten, which is a really great technology, but unfortunately if you have a large world, light baking might take a lot of time. Well, we understand that, and right now we're working on another solution which will make iteration time much less, and will let you test your baked lighting much quicker. So this is how it basically looks. So it's like a scene in Unity. You can see the light, and you move the light, and all the light maps are automatically recalculated and rebaked. And the thing is that you can see it in real time, and what's more, only the part of the scene you actually see is rebaked. So when we zoom out, you will see this effect. So zoom out, and only the part of the scene you saw with the scene view was rebaked, and it was really quick. And you can see that when we zoomed out, everything else started rebaking. So it and this is what we work right now. This is what we work on right now, and yeah, I personally really like this because I hate waiting a few hours to completely bake the scene, and after that, like change something, wait another few hours. So another hard challenge is actually big PC games. Well, we in Unity understand that right now the engine is kind of perceived as a mobile engine. Well, it's pretty much because like a lot of good mobile games are made with Unity, and Unity is really good for like mobile development and prototyping. But right now, like a few teams in the company are working on different features to make lives of big teams much easier. So I just put a few things on like one slide from like different areas. So right now we have common buffers, which especially with deferred rendering allow you to customize rendering pipeline a lot, like making it possible to make great effects in Unity. So a lot of work has been done to actually multi-thread the engine, and I'll get back to this. And we are working on like rendering pipeline and all the new stuff. But you can use all the performance improvements already now with 5.3 and 5.4. So in 5.3 we added multi-scene editing. Hello. Okay, I don't know. It's.
Sorry. Yeah.
Okay, I can take this one. Yeah, it happens. So where was I? So yeah, multi-scene editing. So yeah, has anyone tried multi-scene editing in a real project yet? No, nobody. Has anyone tried using Unity at all? Okay, that's good. I was thinking that I'm like in the wrong audience. So yeah, if you haven't tried, you should definitely try using multi-scene editing, because it makes editing scenes much easier. I don't have a demo right now because I was sure that everyone is using it. But if you have any questions, you can come to us at our booth, and I know we can talk about. So another thing we are working right now is our own collaboration service. So it's like Google Docs or Git for game developers, which is integrated into the engine, and it's called Collab. And you can go to our site and sign up for a beta version of it and test how it works right now. And I already mentioned cinematic image effects, which are working and which make PC games look much, much better than they might look without it. So other things we are actively working on right now is GPU instancing. Like a lot of nav mesh improvements. We're working on terrain finally, and a few other things for like big open worlds, like reversed shadows and Z-buffer, and you can see the actual effect of this on this image. So the left is how the shadows look right now, and on the right is the effect of reversed Z-buffer. Yeah. So the shadows look much, much better. So the next thing, which is really popular right now, is VR. Is anyone making VR stuff right now? Well, many of you? That's good. So basically, as like Palmer Luckey once said that 75% or 95% of VR games are made with Unity, and we support like everything available on the market, either a native integration or using plugin. And we work with such companies as like AMD and NVIDIA to support their VR technologies. So I think we announced their like NVIDIA VRWorks support like a few weeks ago, and we're working to integrate that. So, and one more thing is not really VR, but augmented reality is like HoloLens. Has anyone tried HoloLens? Nobody. Yeah, okay. Well, it's kind of a rare thing, especially that they're selling their dev kit for those people who are really interested into development for it. But Unity right now is like the only middleware which allows you to make augmented reality games. So if you're interested in HoloLens, you really should go to YouTube first and watch all the amazing videos. But it's really, really cool. So the question, like the main question is how to integrate VR support into Unity, into your game, I mean. And it's like really, really simple. You just check this checkbox, and Unity does a lot of things for you. Yeah. So it allocates all the resources. It automatically handles a camera to like render for 2 eyes and to sync with the head-mounted display and to sync like the transform and field of view and other things. So you don't have to like think about like using some kind of plugin anymore or like duplicating cameras and stuff. So everything is done for you. So if you want to test like HoloLens, like right now, if you don't have a dev kit, you can do it in emulator, and to do this, you basically need to go to a special page and download a technical preview Unity for HoloLens, install some other software from Microsoft, like Visual Studio, the latest one, HoloLens simulator, and just go to this link and like follow the tutorial, which is like really, really easy and explains all the things. And if you still got some problems or like questions, you can go to the forums and like ask them. That's so easy. So the next thing is like if you want to develop for VR, we have a few really good examples like how to implement various kinds of controls and like game mechanics, and they're all available on Asset Store. So their examples are called VR sample assets, and you can get them right now. And also follow the tutorial, which explains pretty much like all the basic concepts of VR and how VR stuff works. So in sample assets, we have like gameplay like this, yeah, and the really challenging problem right now is, of course, performance in VR. So, because we all understand that in mobile VR we need to render 60 FPS for 2 eyes. On desktop VR we need to render like 90 FPS for 2 eyes. So the rendering part of the engine must be as fast as possible, and this is what we are working right now in Unity. So this slide shows the following. So first is like rendering in Unity is divided into like a few threads. So it's a main thread where all the stuff happens, and a render thread which sends commands to GPU. So you had more time on the main thread for your own scripts. So in 5.3 we have on a VR test scene like 10 milliseconds main thread, 14 milliseconds render thread. Like in 5.4 with like just optimizations the team has done in 5.4, we reduced it a bit, as you can see. And in 5.4 we added 2 new technologies. First one is double white rendering, and the next one is render loop jobs. So double white rendering is basically sending data for both eyes to render. So like right now in 5.3, everything is rendered per eye. And using 5.4, which is, as I said, available online and you can download it, you can benefit greatly from double white rendering and can see how dramatically like time on main thread and render thread drops. So, and the next like experimental technology is render loop jobs, which basically like a huge investment in more multi-threading. It's like super experimental, and you can see how like both technologies combined can lead to like huge improvements in rendering time. So, and what's important is that a lot of stuff is moved from main thread, and from time to time I'm asked like how to, like, is the Unity going to implement like proper multi-threading in for user scripts? Because right now it's kind of hard because like you're restricted to like accessing Unity API from other threads and stuff. So like we want to move as much our stuff as possible from main thread for you to actually use the CPU time from main thread. And this is what we are going to do, and this is what we want like the time profiler, like the timeline view in Profiler to look like. So I hope everyone like knows this view in Profiler, like where you can see what jobs are executing on this or that thread. So this is like a lot of threads, and all the threads are occupied with stuff, and everything works great. So another interesting question is actually how to develop content for VR. And we have a small team called Unity Labs, and this team actually works on like interesting stuff, interesting prototypes. So before native VR integration in Unity, you would code something in Unity, like, and to test it in actual device, you would have to compile it and run it on device. And with the native integration, you can just press play, but you still are limited to like doing something in the editor and putting on the HMD and looking around and like doing this loop. So Unity Labs team is like looking how to actually improve this process.
See here, I'm just actually in Unity.
Yes. So.
Window editor VR.
1 second.
Now, make it a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see what's going on.
Oops. Yeah. So I will run this like a short video clip from Visual Summit conference, and like this is the head of Unity Labs, and you will see like what she's doing, and she basically explains everything in English, and I guess you guys know English because you're like listening to me. So I will just shut up and let you watch this.
Actually in Unity, and we just have a new window editor VR. So now make it a little bit bigger so you guys can actually see what's going on. Okay. See you guys after this. Okay. All right, so if you saw the video about editor VR from last month, we had the scene set up a little bit. But this time we started to go out with the blank scene. You see here at the edge of my controller, I have a bunch of assets, different game objects. So let's start off by adding in the ground. There you go. And it's a little bit dark over here, so I've got a directional light that I'm gonna add in. Let's put it up there. You can see that we have the gizmo in VR, so I can actually just rotate like so. And now we've got some light added to our scene. Now I'm gonna fill it out. We're gonna make like a little mountain village. So I'm gonna add some mountains, pick them up, move them over. But I hear that I only have a couple of minutes on stage, and you guys have been here for a long time now. So I'm gonna show off something that we made to make it even faster for you guys to work in VR and quickly out your scene. This is called the chessboard. And this is actually just a smaller version of the scene that you're already in. So you can actually just pick up game objects like this. You just float, put the mountain down, and there you go. All right, so I'm gonna add a little bit more over here. I know, this is super fun, by the way. Hopefully we get this out to you quickly so you can try it. But you can see you can actually just rotate, and there's a mountain. I can put it over here, like so. Okay. Yes, it's like playing with like the best dollhouse in the world. This is awesome. And let me zoom in a little bit more here. Now I'm gonna add in some more game objects. Got a building, house, another house, another house. Got some trees. Let's just stick it all in here. We got a barrel. How about this fireplace thingy? Got a tree stump. Okay, all right. So I've got the stuff, and I'm gonna zoom in like so. You can actually just pick up the objects and move them around. Gonna pick up this house over here, like this. And actually, I'm gonna lock the ground because it turns out you end up hitting the ground a lot. All right, cool. Okay, so I'm gonna move this house over here, pick up this other like in thing, put it over here, pick up this other little house, set it maybe here, this here. Gotta turn around this big kind of creepy church thing. As you can see, just got the scene set up. It looks like this tree is running into this house, so I can actually just pick it up right here and move it over. But honestly, whether or not you're making a VR game, this is actually just a really quick and efficient way to just lay out a scene really, really fast. Add a couple more objects here, pick up this little sign, and put them over there. Ta-da! You got your scene. All right. I got a couple more things. So the lighting, I'm not loving the lighting. I'm gonna pick up the lighting, move it over here, but then I can actually just pick up myself. This is a little mini me, and put myself by the light, and I can actually just rotate the light and see what the shadows are doing. Yeah, okay, that looks a little bit better. Let's make it a little bit darker. Yeah, there we go, that's dramatic. All right, let's go back down. Oh, a little bit too low now. Here we go. Okay, I think this is looking pretty good, but we might want to add just like a couple more things. Maybe like a dragon. All right, so I've got my dragon here. I'm gonna scale him like way up. Yeah, that looks good. Turn him around like so. Maybe put him like over here. And again, this is the kind of thing, like, if I was working in 2D, I might be like, yeah, dragon looks good here, dragon looks good here, but we can actually just see it, when you're actually just looking at it, it's so much more efficient, honestly. It's a lot of fun too. Okay, so now we have our dragon, put a little bit more over here, and now I'm gonna add in, we have a knight to fight the dragon. So I'm gonna move her over, move her back a little bit and up. Maybe just pick her up and move her myself. There you go. Okay, all right, let's see how that looks with the animations. Cool. All right, maybe move myself up by there. Very cool. Okay, guys, so that's what we're working on right now. No release date yet, but hopefully we're gonna work on getting this out to you as soon as possible. So, thanks. See here, I'm just actually in Unity, and we just have.
Oops. Yeah, so this is a really interesting concept, and you can see like there are a few like interesting design decisions, like this little checkerboard minimap, like mini me, where actually like you are actually represented as a little figure in the world, and probably it's not the best way to edit levels or make your game right now, but as a concept, I think it's like really cool, and maybe in the future there'll be something like this, but obviously better. And the thing is that this is not like some kind of a Unity game or something, but it's like this project is integrated in the editor. So you probably saw like here like a little line from the editor scene view. Yeah. So this is what our Unity Labs team is working on. So, and another small thing I really wanted to add here is that you probably noticed that we didn't have 5.4 on GDC. So instead we released 5.3, 5.3.4. And right now 5.3.4 and its patch releases are like the most stable Unity versions from all the other ones. And it's really so because like a lot of effort has gone into this version. Like all the Unity developers pretty much stopped what they were doing and fixed all the bugs they could. So if you are still on some other versions like 5.2 or like earlier 5.3, I really recommend you to upgrade to 5.3.4. And of course, once again, go and download 5.4 beta, because the release date is June, and that's not much time left actually. And we really want you to go and upgrade your projects and test your stuff before the release, because so we could have some time to fix bugs you encounter. And even at this conference, I already got approached by a few guys developing VR applications, and I think they had these or that issues with 5.3 and 5.4. And another thing I really want you to do, if you have something like broken, some bugs, or something not working, is send us bug reports, because if you don't do that, we don't know that these bugs exist. And if not many people have these bugs and like encounter these bugs, and nobody sends bug reports, so we cannot fix them, obviously. Yeah, so this is everything I wanted to say. Thanks everyone joining us today, because there's like a lot more people than the first 2 minutes, and we have like a lot of time for questions if anyone has any.
Yeah, one question about this improvement in 5.4 about the VR rendering. There is using this option with the white something, I don't remember the name.
Mm-hmm.
What is the difference? What is the improvement there that makes it basically like half the time, the rendering time, basically?
Yeah, basically like the...
Yeah, if you can go back to the slide, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. This one,
yeah,
double white
so
rendering. So it's basically...
Yeah, so the idea is to render both eyes simultaneously. So all the data is sent to GPU, and only like camera transforms are sent separately. So if right now in 5.3 everything is rendered per eye, so like left eye first and like right eye next. So like in 5.4 with double white rendering enabled, like everything, all the objects are rendered simultaneously per eye.
So it's using basically like a geometry shader to split the rendering for both eyes, and then just use single pass through the like fragment shader, something like that.
Well, yeah, it's kind of something like that. So like geometry is sent once, and after that like a buffer with like transforms is used like to render this geometry twice, basically.
Mm-hmm. Okay, thanks.
How big impact will using the cinematic effects have on frame rate? Is it something that makes game run slower? Is it something we should definitely care about, or it is something is done on another third and on GPU and we don't need to worry about it?
Well, it's of course depends on the effect. Like effect like vignette or color grading, they are like pretty much just another full screen draw call, just to fix basically all colors of all pixels. But effects like depth of field, they are like really hard on they're really hard on GPU. So of course, if you already struggling to maintain frame rate, it's you shouldn't use like the high quality depth of field and other not that performant effects. But as I said, we have like a few quality levels, and it depends like what platform you're targeting. Well, it's all the matter of what you want to achieve. So you can sacrifice something here and get some nice effects there. But yes, some of the effects are not that good for performance, and others are basically pretty much free.
Okay, so is there a standard set of effects that you would recommend to use in average game, like anti-aliasing, color grading, etc., something that is fast and enhance quality?
Yeah, like every game has to use like some kind of tone mapping effect. I don't have the images right now, but it's really easy to Google like the difference, like what you can get from like a game without any effects and with like a small tone mapping which is configured by your artist. So you can get completely different result, and this effect is pretty much free. So like unlike all the others. So I definitely recommend everyone to use like tone mapping in the game, even if you developing like a mobile game or something with for low spec devices. It's definitely worth it. But others, yeah, you should really try to test how it affects your performance.
Thanks.
We still have some time, so if you have any questions, feel free.
Yeah, if you have like any private questions or something, you can catch me after this presentation or at the booth. We have a booth there with a few really smart people who can solve some of your problems. But anyway, thanks for attending this session that early. And okay.
Mr. Valentin Simonov, thank you very much.